Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm pretty excited for this video. Today we are going to be testing out the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation that just came out. This came out at Ulta today. I went and bought it today. I actually didn't realize it was coming out today in Ulta, but I just so happened to be in there. And then I saw it as soon as I walked in. I was like, all right, we got to get this, test it out for you guys, and just give you kind of my first impression on how I feel about it. If you are new, my name is Allison, and I do a lot of makeup videos. And this particular look, if you're interested, is going to be a look I'm going to put on my Instagram. So feel free to go check out my Instagram. I will probably have it up after this video, maybe like a day or so after this video, but it will be up on there if you want to see the eye look I did today. So let's just kind of get into this. So I'm going to first start off by writing down really quick what it says in the box here, because it sort of breaks down the foundation. So this is what it looks like. It's in a glass bottle. It has a pump, which I really, really like. And it says it is vegan, gluten-free, alcohol-free, clinically tested, dermatologist tested, ophthalmologist tested, non-comedogenic, suitable for sensitive skin, long wearing with no flashback. And it is a medium coverage foundation with a luminous natural finish. Okay. So I was very intrigued by this because I have been liking luminous foundations lately, so I really wanted to give this a go, especially if it is as long wearing as it says it is in the box. It says it's long wearing. It doesn't give an hour time frame, at least not on the box. So I don't know how long wearing it is, but hopefully it's pretty long wearing, and we will see about that. All right, so the shade I got was 220N. I think I did watch one review of this before, and the person, I can't remember who I watched now, and I'll try to put it down below if I remember who I watched. But the person I watched was talking about how they bought like a bunch of different colors, or they got a lot of different colors, and the undertones listed on the bottle was really kind of strange, which I agree with. So I got 220N, supposedly a neutral, but it is more on the neutral to yellow side. This one was a little bit more neutral than 210N, because 210 neutral was like yellow. It was really weird. So this is definitely probably a foundation I would go in person to try, like, and swatch to get your color, because I think if you buy online and go by, you know, the numbers saying like N for neutral, C for cool, W for warm, you might end up getting like the wrong undertone from what you wanted, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna get into this. We're gonna give this a shot, see what we think. So one thing I noticed when I was in there at Ulta, and because the bottles were like literally brand new, I got an Ulta like right when it opened, was that you have to like press a lot for the product to first come out. And then when it does come out, it comes out in really tiny little squirts. So you might need like, whereas one pump or two pumps of another foundation, you might need like 4 of this, but it's just because the little pumps out are really small. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my hair back here behind my ears so I'm not touching it the whole video. And I'm gonna put the foundation on 2 different ways, just so I can see what works a little better. I'm gonna use a sponge on one side, and then I'm gonna use a buffing foundation brush on the other side. For the sponge side, I'm using my Morphe Highlight Contour Sponge. This is the one that Jeffree started in collab with them, which is why it's pink. So it's already wet and washed, but I just re-wet it with some more Morphe Continuous City Mist. My skin is prepped with just moisturizer, the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. That's really the way I prep my skin, is just moisturizer with no primer, just because that's what works for me. All right, so there is one side applied. So it definitely is a medium. You can still see these like acne scars I have right here. You can still see my acne scars down here. You can still see the color of them, but otherwise it does really even out any like redness, obviously, that I have on my skin. You can see it really helped with the redness a lot. And just evening that out. Definitely is a luminous finish. It's not too luminous though. So if you're wanting something luminous without being like too like wet feeling or sticky, this might work for you. So let's keep going. Okay guys, so there's one full side applied. So what I noticed from the visuals at the table where they had the foundations on was they showed like before and after pictures, and there was one particular girl, the lightest girl there, and she had a lot of freckles, and between the before and after you could still fully see her freckles in the after shot. She just had a little less redness. And so I didn't come in this obviously with the expectation that this was going to cover everything, because they say it's medium, and they even like advertise that you could still see like freckles and stuff through it. So on my forehead, you can still see my freckles that I have kind of around the top of my forehead. And then throughout my face, you can still see like I have a little mole here. You can see that. I can see some of my freckles on my cheekbone. And again, like I said, those specific areas, you can still see the red spots. So I'm going to take a little extra of my sponge and see if this builds at all. I don't mind my freckles showing, but we'll see if it builds to cover up these little kind of acne marks. All right, so that did build up a little more. It definitely covered them up a little more. You can still see them just a tiny bit, but not too bad. I really am loving the finish on this, and I have a problem with skin texture and my skin looking very textured and kind of gross no matter how much I exfoliate or use like, you know, acid exfoliators, no matter how much I hydrate. My skin just tends to have a lot of texture, and this actually looks amazing on my textured skin, like around my nose and stuff, or between my eyebrows and up on here, my forehead, where I usually have texture. There is none. So far, this foundation looks beautiful, especially with a sponge. So let's now try it with a brush and see if that's any different. So I'm using this Morphe brush from the Beautiful and Bronze brush set. I don't think they sell that set anymore, unfortunately, but it's just sort of like an angled synthetic blush brush technically, but I really like it for foundation. All right, so there is initially just kind of my cheek and chin area with one layer of the foundation, and I'm saying, gotta tell you, with the brush, like, it's way more full coverage than with this sponge. So it definitely covered a lot more. Like, I don't feel like on these areas where I have some acne scars, I don't feel like I need to go back in with another layer, because it's like fully covered as much as I like it to be covered. But even with a brush, none of the texture showed up. Like around my nose, it still looks completely fine. I don't have any issues with this, the brush in combination with the foundation, like bringing up any texture. So that looks really good. So I'm just gonna continue blending this. The true test always ends up being this area also right around my forehead. I don't know why that tends to look super dry with certain foundations. That brush did leave just a couple brush marks up here, so I'm just gonna dab that out with the sponge. So all around, the texture actually looks really great on my skin. It doesn't look dry. It truly does look luminous, not too luminous though. Like, it's a really great happy medium. And the coverage is exactly what I personally want. I don't necessarily need like super full coverage, but I don't like sheer coverage either. I like a really nice medium that pretty much covers everything, but doesn't look like too much. So this for me is like the perfect coverage of any foundation I feel like I've tried in a while. This is like exactly what I want in terms of coverage. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do the rest of like the normal face makeup I would do. I'm just gonna kind of speed through this. I'll show you guys, but I'm gonna speed through it because it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of some normal things I would use so that we'll really get a true test of how this compares for me based on like what I tend to always do. So I'm going to go through this really quick, and then we'll come back when the full face is complete and sort of show you what it looks like with the full face, and then we will go into a wear test throughout the day.
And you know everything about me.
Okay guys, so here is the makeup fully complete. So in terms of the foundation, I kind of feel like my skin hasn't looked this good in a long time. I got a little bristle. Yeah, my skin looks so smooth. Like, I always use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. It is very smoothing. It's amazing. It's very inexpensive. And it never looks this good. Like, I'm very impressed, especially since I tested out the Anastasia Beverly Hills stick foundation before. Like, just in Sephora, I tried it on, and I read reviews, and apparently it was like so dry. I didn't like it when I tried it on my skin. It looked super dry, so I wasn't really sure how I was gonna feel about this. But first impression, this foundation is beautiful. It is the perfect amount of coverage. It is like so smoothing on the skin. It doesn't enhance any texture, any pores. My, bronzer, blush, highlight, everything went on so nicely on top of it. And literally, I feel like my skin hasn't looked this good in so long. So I'm very, very happy with this so far. So really the true test for me is gonna be longevity. I do get oily. I don't mind when oil pops through. So that's not really something I'm gonna be looking at because I know I get oily. I know nothing's gonna stop it. So whatever. And then I just look more glowy because I like looking glowing anyway, so it's fine for me. The biggest thing I'm going to be looking at as I go throughout the day is, does it stay on? Because my foundation on me, because I get oily, if it's not the right kind of foundation, it will start to kind of come off. So I'll like see it wearing down, especially on my nose, on my chin, around my forehead. That's really what I'm looking for. If you guys have followed me for a while, I got a rhinoplasty how long ago now? Oh my God, it's been like 7 years, I think. Oh my God, like 7 or 8 years maybe? Has it really been that long? I think it's been 7 years. That's crazy. Anyways, and 7 years later, I still have nerve damage in my nose. So if you ever notice in like a video or anything, I do this a lot or I sniffle a lot, it's because I still have nerve damage in the bottom of my nose. So it constantly feels like it's itching, even though it's not. It's just like the nerves. And so one of my big things is foundation will wear off around my nose because I just subconsciously, because my nose itches all the time, I'll just go like this all day long. So that's going to be something I'm looking for, is does it wear off? I can't stop looking at my skin. Like, it looks so good. It looks so good. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm going to go throughout my day and I'm going to update you guys, probably maybe once in a couple hours and then once at the end of the day before I take it off. Right now it is 2:30 in the afternoon. And so I will probably take this off. I'm hoping I can keep it on for at least 8 hours. I think I'll be able to do that. And take it off maybe around like 10:30 or so. Mama likes to go to bed early. I got a baby, so it's gonna be hard for me to stay up late. Okay. 9 o'clock is late for me now, guys, seriously. So anyways, I'm gonna try to keep it on as long as I can. Probably come back in maybe 4 hours, give you a quick update, and then update you again later in the day. Okay guys, so here is my first update. So right now it's 6:30 and we can take a look at how this is going so far. I will zoom in here a bit. I am just using only my ring light right now. Excuse me. So that is why it's kind of like all this light and nothing on the side. So, but you should still be able to pretty much see how everything's going. So everything's looking very good. 4 hours in and I barely have any oil coming through. So obviously this is with no touch up. I don't really have any oil popping through. I still have foundation on my nose. A little has come off right here. So I don't know if that's from me touching it or maybe Lily like grabbed my face or something. She's been poking my eyes all day because I have a lot of eye makeup on. Whenever I do a lot of eye makeup, she like wants to touch my face. But it's still on my chin. I've been touching my hair a lot and it's still all around my hairline. It hasn't come off. And yeah, so holding up really well. All my like highlight, my blush and everything is still on as well. So that's all holding up really well too. So I will update again tonight. This is going to be hard for me because we're about to have a shower. And then generally I'd be washing my face, cuddling with the baby, and putting her to bed and then going to bed right after that. So I will be staying up late tonight though. So yeah, that is our update. And I will update you guys again at the end of the night. Okay guys, so it is now 10:23. I don't know why it was so hard for me to stay up this late. I'm actually so tired right now. I have fallen asleep so many times. I put Lily to bed around like 8 o'clock, I think. And I've been in my bed like trying to stay awake. Okay, so in terms of the foundation, I did finally have oil poke through the center of my face. So I'm definitely shiny through the center of my face. But with that being said, the foundation still looks literally amazing. It's worn off just the tiniest bit around my forehead. It's worn off pretty much the same amount, maybe a little more than it had the last time that I checked in, right around my nose. And then I did fall asleep for a little bit, and when I woke up my face was like sweating and I was on my side, and I just sort of like just lifted my cheek off my pillow and it's come off like just a tiny bit right there. If I had not fallen asleep and been laying on a pillow, I'm sure it would have been fine. So yeah, basically my final thoughts are this foundation is stunning. So it was $38, same amount as any other foundation, 1 ounce. Like I stated before, I love the glass bottle. It feels so like luxurious. I saw some people saying that this was weird. I kind of like it that it says like foundation on the side. I don't know, it kind of looks cool. Love the pump, love the packaging. The wear time is great. The finish is so beautiful, very skin-like, really, really, really beautiful. I really love it. So far, I don't feel like I actually have anything negative to say about it at all, which is surprising because I feel like I am pretty finicky with foundations. But I really like the way it looks. Like I feel like my skin looks so much nicer than usual. So yeah, I give this foundation like 2 thumbs up. I like it a lot. I'm going to continue to use it and play with it. So if my opinion changes, feel free to subscribe. I will continue using more videos in the future. And if anything changes, I will definitely let you know in a future video. But yeah, that's kind of it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if this is your first time here. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye. I've been waiting all day to do this. Oh my gosh. These lashes are so big and they're pretty comfortable, but is that not the best feeling ever?